start this. Alright, yeah, I think that's working.
Okay. Sorry, I don't have a mallet. Good evening. Welcome to DidsburyFM. I know some people have been to DidsburyFM before and others haven't. Can I just have a show of hands who's been here before? And who's brand new? Excellent. Well, we love new people and older people, not in age, but just people. So welcome. So forgive me if you've been before and I go through the format. I'm Sally, I'm the founder of DidsburyFM. And the format is we usually have 3 guests on this show, if we can call it a show, and then we interview them for about 15 minutes. We go to the floor so that you, the audience, can ask questions. Please don't swear, this is being recorded and it goes out on Facebook. I think it's got about 3,000 people who watch our videos, and it will be unfortunate for our children to see us swearing. So if you've got a question, ask it. If it's an inappropriate question, I won't take it. So no one's ever asked an inappropriate question, but so I hope tonight's on the first night. And it's just so that the speaker can say if he'll take it, but you know, if it's something like, what's your bra size? I don't know, that's not appropriate. But I'm sure we can all think of things that we would want to ask. It's a really lovely and brilliant lineup this evening, so we'll get going in a moment. So we do our Q&A, we always have a charity that we choose to raffle for. Our raffle prizes this evening, please claim the prizes. Food Sorcery, and I know people say that they email me and I don't get in touch. I always get in touch, people don't claim them. Food Sorcery, which is a barista, number 1. Number 2 is the botanist in the corner, dinner for 2. Number 3 is personal training with Fiji Joe. No one ever claims that, it's really good, it's Fijian. Nobody ever claims it. It's brilliant. It's really good. It's formulated. So please put in for it. And I can't remember the 4th one. Will come to me. And Sarah will go around and get the raffle tickets, or Ellen and whoever. I think everyone's just a bit scared of Fiji because he does look like, you know, a Fijian rugby player. But he's very good at getting everyone very active. He's sometimes here, so he's not here tonight. I went out. So that's what we do, and then we'll stop after the first. We've got 2 great speakers, and I think that's probably sufficient for us tonight. And then we've got some other great speakers coming up in the next couple of months, which I will announce at the end of it. So it's wonderful to see so many people here this evening. So let's crack on. This evening we've got 2 sisters, Rachel and Laura. I need to remember to get them right around. I always get you wrong, don't I?
Yeah.
Sorry. So this is Laura.
Yes.
And there's Rachel is after Laura. Who are the founders of the brand Careaux?
Yes.
And they've been doing some interesting things. So we'll start from the beginning, really. Firstly, welcome.
Thank you.
Secondly, just tell us sort of who you are. What is Careaux?
Okay, so I'm Laura. I'm the co-founder of it's a luxury ethical menswear brand called Careaux, based in Manchester, just Stretford down the road. It all started from an idea that Rachel had when she was 14 of a dress that changes for each and every one of us. She'll explain a bit more later as well. But so we've been working on it, well, since she had the idea 10 years ago, and it's just been our sole dream ever since to carry it forward.
So let's kind of start from the beginning, really. Did you know anything about fashion? I mean, did you do fashion degrees?
No, so I was in uni doing history when Rachel came up with the idea, and then I did a graduate diploma in law. So absolutely no business like acumen, no fashion. I did like my A-levels in chemistry, biology and maths and history, so it was just completely out of the blue, but it was more about the concept and having like the diversity and inclusion, so we do every size for every woman there is. So it became about the concept and what we believe in rather than just like being a fashion brand.
Yes. Okay. And can I ask you, just so for the sort of people at home who study and so on and so forth, how did you get started? Because do you work on Careaux now full time?
Yeah.
Okay. But in the beginning, how did you go from studying history and a diploma in law to saying, yeah, I've got a great business idea, because we all have those.
Oh, yeah.
And then making it a reality. So I wonder if you could just talk through maybe some of the stuff that you did.
Yeah, of course. So it all started about 2016, and at this time I was working at Citizens Advice Bureau, and then went over to tutoring for a charity, which I absolutely loved. But we got to a point where we were like, right, we really need to bring this forward, we want to make it reality, but we had no ideas. So what we had to do was find a pattern cutter to try and take it from idea to actual product. So we didn't even have a clue how to find it. We searched on Google, but nothing was coming up. And we actually finally found someone through someone that I knew at the gym. And I know, not that I go there anymore, but I did. And luckily we worked with him for about a year, 18 months to help us bring it to idea. But on the business side as well, we just literally went to every business course, every event, all the stuff like Central Library. They have a really good business and IP centre there. So anything we could do, because there's so many free courses out there for business, and it's just amazing. So I think we probably went to about 3 or 4 like courses and workshops like a week just to try and get our heads around business. And I think the best thing as well is like just throw yourself into it, because you can read as much as you want, but until you actually do it. I'm still learning today, like loads of million things every single day, so it's just continuously learning. But it's just finding the information, going to workshops, events, speaking to people as well, because they're always willing to help you, and then just literally throw yourself into it. And that's what I do all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So what about funding? So you go on these courses, and then how do you fund the actual making of the dresses and then selling?
So we had some savings, and I was working for the Tudor Trust, so I was doing that, and Rachel's been working as well.
What's the Tudor Trust?
So it's a charity that has tutors going to, it goes to tackle education equality. So I would go into a school and do maths and English. It's like primary school, but they also do secondary school, and they're actually based in Manchester. They're a really good charity, and it's an amazing experience because they knew so much more than I did, even when they were a lot younger. But I learned so much from them as well. It was brilliant. So we had that money as well, and Rachel was working. So it was just kind of like trying to see how best we could use our resources, but we also did a Kickstarter last year.
Yeah, tell us a bit about that.
So at the beginning...
firstly, what is Kickstarter?
Okay, so Kickstarter is a crowdfunder. So what you do is you put out a video, like you try and get support. So people would there's types of crowdfunding, so there's one where people can have equity in the business, or you can offer rewards. So that's what we do with Kickstarter. So someone would pledge, and then what you'd have to do is so someone would pledge like £10 and they'd get a postcard, or they could pledge a certain amount and get a dress. So they didn't have no equity in the business, but they were getting a reward in a sense. So what we did that in March last year, and then we ended it in May, and we reached our target of £10,000 within 3 weeks, which was really good. So really pleased with that.
So tell me again this. I'm thinking I've got an idea.
Let's go for it.
So can people donate from £5 or £10? Can they just donate or contribute what they can afford?
Yeah, so anyone could even do like £1, and you don't even have to get a reward if you just say, donate £1 and stuff like that. So it was really, really good because it's accessible to all, and it's a really good platform because it kind of builds a community as well, because you keep in contact with them. Like with us, like obviously you need like the dress size and the sketches that we're offering, like what would you like on the sketch. So it was just really nice building up the community as well.
Yeah. So from that Kickstarter, because I know you've got some like big names who are. I'm not a big
You're
name.
one of them, yeah.
Well, I'm not a big name, but I have some of your dresses.
Yeah.
So with the Kickstart, how do you move from that money then to sourcing different fabrics and so on and so forth?
We used when we were doing the bespoke dresses before that, we used that as good feedback and testing the market, testing the concepts, everything like that was really, really good. And with the Kickstarter, wanted to test like the core collection. So the core collection are like these ones. So it's got midi skirt, A-line, sleeveless and sleeved. And what we did is like to jump not so much jump, but like move forward from the Kickstarter. It was just about seeing the feedback from what people liked and what they ordered. So we offered the 4 pieces, but we're just saying people wanted to get longer sleeves or anything, just see what worked with people and what they wanted. And I think that we hopefully got it right, and we have had like repeat customers and stuff, and we're thinking about when we're looking at different fabrics, you know, for different things like people who are travelling and obviously like summer fabrics and stuff. So it's given us a platform to move forward as well and build on what we had with the Kickstarter, which is really good.
Okay, really good. So, how have you, because you've been working with the Princess Trust as well, can you tell us a little about how that came about and what that's given you?
Oh yeah, of course. So we heard about the enterprise course in the Princess Trust 2 years ago now.
So let's just go back to the beginning. The Princess Trust was founded by Prince Charles.
Yes.
My understanding was that they gave money to perhaps people from less represented groups, and that's the idea. So they have an enterprise group. How did you fit into that bracket?
Well, when we were going, because obviously I think that is like a misconception that it is just for underrepresented. They literally help every young person they can, from I think it's even younger. I think it's like 16 to 30 for the enterprise, but they help every single young person, whatever background you're from, whoever you are, they will help you. You go to them and they will signpost you, and they have so many courses that you can do, like get into retail, get started on the radio. But whatever you want to do, they will have a course for that, but it helps absolutely everyone. And when we went on the course in May 2018, it was just amazing people, and it was a 3-day course, and then after that you get 2 years of mentoring from the trust, and I don't think you ever really leave the trust, and we've been lucky enough to be named to be offered Princess Trust Young Ambassadors now as well, so we're doing a lot more with the trust, and just really passionate about what they do, and just really kind and just want to help everyone. I think that's really aligns with our values as well as a brand and ourselves.
Absolutely. So having been through that, I just wondered, I know you've got aunt, Disbury Wells, you've got an aunt and uncle who live here. Your nana was a dressmaker, I think, which is part of the incentive. We'll hear more about the concept when Rachel comes on. But I just wondered what community means to you.
Community for me is, I just think it's just bringing people together. Like, you do have places like Didsbury where it does feel like it's a community and people help each other, people want to help each other as well, and they want to be a part of something, and they have, say, like events and stuff like that, which is amazing because it brings people together. People like this have little things that get together, and I think it's just about helping people and being kind and having that spirit that you do actually want to help, and equality, and again, like I said, just bringing people together, I think is a really important factor in life, to be honest, absolutely.
So if I gave you £1 million, what would you do with it, preferably for the community?
I feel like this is very similar to Rachel's, but set up the Careaux Foundation, because that's what we've wanted to do from the start, and to help as many people and animals, because we love animals, as we can, and for like the sustainability side, the ethical side of the business, and just really do what we want to do and help as many people as we can. So it's definitely what we want to do.
Now, I want to ask, we always ask a personal question when you're in here. That's great, by the way, the foundation sounds brilliant, and it's really good. And you've been named as on the Northern Power Women Awards Future List. You've been on the BBC, you're Princess Trust Ambassador, and this all sounds really good and really rosy. But I know that you were on the news recently, talking about cystic fibrosis. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Of course.
Please, because you have CF. So what is cystic fibrosis? How's it affected you? And how have you been juggling this dress company, the brand which has taken off, in between it when you've got to leave here to the hospital and get antibiotics tonight. So can we go back to the beginning? What is CF? How did you get it?
Okay, so cystic fibrosis is a genetic condition. So my mum and dad are carriers of the gene. Rachel's not a carrier at all, are you? And she's not got it as well. So it's 1 in 4 chance if the parents are carriers of having a child with CF, half of being a carrier and 25% of not having the gene or anything. So I was diagnosed when I was about 4 months old because I just had a recurrent chest infection and things. So CF affects the lungs mainly, and without sounding too gross, it's obviously we all have mucus in our lungs, but healthy people it's thinner so it doesn't cause a problem, but with mine it's really thick so it blocks the airways and it can get loads of infections and then it scars your lungs. It also affects everything, so it affects your digestive system, it can affect your joints, you can get diabetes with it. So I would say it's a multi-organ, affects multi-organs in the body. And usually you can't put on weight and stuff like that. So it's not a well-known disease, but the severity of it is very severe disease, and a lot of people do unfortunately die before they're even 30.
It's a lower expectancy.
Exactly, yeah.
Can I, because I often, when I meet you guys and we're sketching out a dress or whatever, you're often out of breath.
Yeah.
And it's not just rushing around.
No, it's just normal, yeah.
So for you, is organ transplantation one of the solutions, or the only solution really?
Yeah, so my lung function has been, when I was 10 I got seriously ill and my lung function dropped from near 100 to about 30%, and it's not changed since then. It's gotten worse over the past few years. So I've been lucky enough that I've been able to be relatively okay in that time. I've had lots of hospital admissions and home antibiotics. I use oxygen now and non-invasive ventilation overnight as well, and have an overnight feed and just try and keep my weight up and everything like that, and I think I'll probably spend about 4 or 5 hours on treatment every day. So at the moment I was listed on the transplant list in August 2018, so I've been waiting for a lung transplant for about 20 months now. Yeah. So it's just waiting really.
Absolutely, well, fingers crossed.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So I noticed a bandage on your arm is for the antibiotics.
Yes.
Can we just have a round of applause?
Oh no, don't do that.
Just being here and giving up your Sunday evening when you could be here. But we always ask about inspiration. You're quite inspiring. You've carried on your life, and you're an entrepreneur, if I may say so. You and your sister. Where did your inspiration come from?
I think, ever since Rachel told me the idea, we knew it was exactly what we wanted to do, and inspiration comes from Mum Rachel, because I just think she's amazing.
She's your younger sister?
Yes, 7 years younger, but she's incredible, and I wouldn't have been able to do that without her. My family again is inspiration, because I think because I've got these people around me, I'm able to do what I can do. And inspiration from my nana as well, because she was so kind, so lovely, and unfortunately she passed away in 2012, and still miss her obviously to this day, and just think. And I think as well the inspiration as well comes from wanting to do good within the world and wanting to help who we can and do everything we can in our power, and anything we can do even more to just help as many people. So I think that's our core purpose, to be honest. So
amazing. Are we alright for time?
It's
I don't want to. Got 5
Oh,
minutes.
gosh.
Well, maybe you can just indulge in one more question, then we'll go to the floor and people can be thinking about it. I note you're wearing it. I won't make you sort of modelled in colour.
That's Rachel.
Well, you can do. When you all stand up, we'll be looking. not in an inappropriate way. But I wondered, you're concerned about fashion. We all love fashion, looking good, and sustainability of fashion.
Yes.
I mean, do you think we've all got too many clothes and we need to have more staple pieces?
Yes.
which are more statements, right? Is that part of sort of what you want to do with the brand?
Yes, definitely, because I think in a way, like, because the concept is that you buy the base dress in a way, and the more tops and skirts you get, like, the less items of actual like clothing. So say you just bought an extra top, then that's one less full dress that you'd have to buy. So if you had like your core collection in a way, less space in your wardrobe. We're using fabric from a really highly ethical and socially conscious brand company. It's like dead stock fabric, like first quality but dead stock. Our lining comes from Italy. It's from an all-female managed sustainable company as well. So it is about having those staple pieces and buying less but you get more, because obviously the concept of it. But on the side of that, it is about the whole process. So they're all made in Manchester, and we're just really passionate about doing that, and the sustainability and the ethicalness as well. So as a whole it is that, but you can definitely have a few staple pieces in your wardrobe, and then literally you could have like 6 dresses and you've got 36 dresses because you mix and match. So it's
so you could do different colours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Interesting. And so, apart from your own brand, are there any brands that you endorse? I mean, we don't want to be sued. For you, or do you feel that actually you need to be living in? Because when I wear your dresses, people think I don't have any other clothes.
I think that's what they think with us.
Well, I don't mix and match.
Yeah,
I wear them when I'm giving a grown-up speech or not in a day job. So. And I have 3, but I just wondered whether you live in your brand, you wash it in the washing machine, it doesn't have to be dry clean, it's accessible. Are those part of the reasons why you're picking it?
Oh yeah, we always, whenever we're out, we're always wearing it. We have that in all our dressing gown, aren't we? Like at home, not outside. But yeah, literally all the time, like we wear it because we just love it and we believe in it so much, and they're just really comfy as well. So we definitely love wearing them.
Absolutely. Thank you. I think I could see Sarah about to put her hand up. So can we just have a round of applause very quickly? And then I think we've got time for some questions before refreshments. So can I just open to the floor? If you've got a question, if you could just put your hand up, say who you are, and we'll take it.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I can't see very well. Okay, this lady here.
Have you found it hard to set up a sustainable supply chain?
I would say it did take a lot longer to set this up because there is a lot of easier routes that you can go down, like getting your fabric from places, but we knew that we didn't want to compromise on any of it, so it did take a bit longer, but where we are now, it was definitely worth how long it has taken, and we're really proud and happy with what we have, and we just want to build on that, and as we grow, like make sure that every part of the supply chain is sustainable, ethical, and stuff like that. So it did take a lot longer, but I'm glad we did it that way. Definitely.
Yeah, good question.
That's a really good question.
Yeah, that was really interesting. Thank
Can you introduce yourself?
Oh, sorry, I'm Smith. Yes, first timer at the.
Nice.
All right.
That was really interesting and truly inspirational.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just wondering, is it 3-4 years since you started up? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say.
Longer for the ideas. So.
Yeah. So I think it was like 2016 when we started thinking, right, we need to properly do this, and that was a real turning point because since then we've just obviously been stuck in like we lived and breathed it anyway, but that's when it accelerated and when we were like, right, we need to do this. So it has taken a good few years, but again, everything we've done along the way has led us to this, and I feel like we've learnt so much, and I've grown as a person as well. I know it sounds probably cheesy, but I do feel that that period of time really helped me as well, like, to move forward and just be like, kind of not a better person, but just made me like think, no, I can do stuff, and it really helped me in that way as well. So
what I was wondering was there any unexpected obstacles that you didn't anticipate?
Oh, I think there's been quite a few actually. I think every day there's something. I think, like following on from your question, I think getting the material and the supply chain, I thought you could just like literally Google everything and find it on the first page of Google, but it did not go that way. So it was like getting out and meeting people, like meeting the mill owners, making sure you ask questions as well, so like for your own knowledge, for everything, just so you can get a good idea of what's going on. And I'd say finding the fabric as well was really difficult, because again, I thought you could just Google it, but it doesn't quite work that way.